I let them stand out. So we
Wow.
capture every little detail.
Now, how did you get started doing something like this?
Oh, when I start,
Mhm.
you have to paint only this come like this.
Well, he's kind of an artist at heart, so that's how he got started. He's been with us for 22 years.
Really?
He's home trained, so he learned this process from start to finish.
Is it hard to do this?
Oh, for now, for me now.
Not
Now
now.
it's very easy.
He says he can do it with his eyes closed.
What is your favorite food to do? What is your favorite cakes, pies, sandwiches? What do you like to do?
Everything.
You like it all?
Everything. Yeah. Now, yeah, it's very easy for me. Everything, making everything. Yeah. All this kind. Yeah.
Well, you do a very good job. It looks like the real thing. Very good. Your name is?
Ubaldo Barbosa.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
And he is our lead craftsman and artist here. So he's the man to come to. Everything ends with him here.
Look over here. This is like being in a grocery store. Look at this. You even do fish.
This is one of the more harder things that we do in our company because every scale has to be, you can't just spray the whole thing, and it has to be done stages.
So how long would it take to do a fish?
To do one fish takes about 10 days from start
What?
to finish. About 10 days. Because you've got to make the molds, you've got to make the part, then you've got to color it in stages, let it dry, color it again.
I bet it's
You've got
the
to do the
coloring.
eyes.
And also when you make the mold, boy, that resin really and the plastic
yeah.
really has to go right over everything to capture it.
It has to capture the whole thing. So the sample we get has to be perfect as well. The gills have to stay down, the fins have to lay flat.
Wow. More chocolate cakes. I think you all like making desserts.
We must have a thing about chocolates.
You've got a whole sandwich plate made up here. You also put a little something on it to make it look like the mayonnaise is still there, don't you?
Mhm.
I mean, it's kind of shiny.
It looks fresh. That's designed to give it a fresh look. Just a store-bought freshness is what we're looking for here.
Now, how long would this display last in a glass case in the front of a store?
It'll probably last longer than the folks care to own them. So it'll just go on and on for years, virtually unchanged.
5 years, 10 years?
Possibly 10 years or more. We've had things out there for more than 15 years, and
Do you
very
just
little to
dust
know.
them off or wash them, or what do you, how do you
Yeah,
keep
that's
them
all they
from
need to
getting
do is just,
dusty?
right, just dust it, wipe it off if you need to. If there's smudge marks, you can take a sponge and wipe it clean. It just goes on and on. You can't get rid of this stuff.
This is great.
It just goes on and on. You know, these folks now, this Clean Jumper restaurants, they've been using it for about 3 years now, and they started in with just the dessert trays where they're carrying them.
Mhm.
Now they've stocked their entire bakery display case and the dessert trays.
Now we're hooking up with,
Carmen,
hi Carmen.
here's Huell.
Nice to meet you.
you
What's
too.
cooking in the kitchen today, Carmen?
It's a mustard.
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 Look at this,
Yeah.
Louis. Now this looks like mustard.
Mustard.
But I have found out, oh, you put it in these
Yeah.
little mustard jars. But I have found out the way to tell the real stuff from the plastic stuff. Excuse me for just a
Yeah.
minute. The way to do it is to smell it.
Uh-oh.
And it definitely does not smell like mustard. It smells like plastic.
Well, that's a Iwasaki-style mustard.
Wow. But it looks like mustard. You're doing a very good job.
Wow.
I have to give
Now, what's going to happen with that?
Now I'm gonna put right here. Now.
So we're ready to pour?
Yeah.
Let's pour it.
Here's- What she's got there is a sample. Here, she's going to match the color to this, and she's going to be pouring it right in these little cups here.
Oh, okay. Can we pour it now?
Carmen, can you pour some here? Okay.
Wow, this is great. Who would ever think of fake mustard? But I guess everything in these exhibits has to be fake, doesn't
It
it?
has to be fake, yeah. See, this is a part of a package that goes on a display, so it's got to last forever, just about.
So she's filling it up. What are these little things?
That's little spots right here. They have right here. So I don't know what.
Those
it
are
is.
seasoning specks that are in the
Boy,
mustard.
now that shows how much detail.
Well,
you
that's,
go to.
that's what we're all about. You know, we've got to get it precise.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this a Bloody Mary?
Yeah.
Can I open this up?
Sure.
Not that I want a Bloody Mary this time of morning, but let's open it up and take a look at it.
He probably needs one.
Look at this.
There's that Bloody Mary.
That's great. Do you make these too?
Yeah.
Do you make real Bloody Marys?
Not in my house, only here.
Do you make real mustard?
Yeah.
Are you a good cook?
I try.
She does all her cooking here.
This is a very interesting job. How long have you been doing this?
13 years.
Really?
Yeah.
And is it hard to learn this job?
If you like, so it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are there some that are easier to do than others? Are there some that are very difficult to do?
Yeah, someone like champagne, that's too hard to make.
Why is it hard to make? Come on over here. Let's look at this champagne. We're going from Bloody Marys to champagne. Oh, look, it's got the bubbles in it.
Yeah.
Now, Ron, how do you get the bubbles in this?
Well, Carmen could probably explain
How
it
do
to
you get the
well.
bubbles?
They mix 50-50 material. So we started to mix it. And then when they're hot, so we put in the glass. So they're going to melt it like this.
But I
So-
still don't understand
So when
how
she
you
pours
capture
it,
the...
when she pours it in, it's
Yeah,
a
just
natural
to mix
flow
it.
of the bubbles, just like carbonation, if you will.
And you capture that in the resin,
That's
in the
right.
mold.
Yeah.
And what she does is once it's poured like this, she'll dry it from the top to let it sit much faster. It doesn't go through that vacuum process you saw back there to take out the air bubbles.
This looks like real champagne.
Yeah.
Here, let's have a toast.
Oh, let's have a toast. That's
Here,
a good
Carmen.
idea.
Now, Ron, of all the things we've seen today, this, to me, is the most fascinating, and we almost missed it. And you said, well, we got to come over here and take a look. Explain what this is, because it looks like a piece of sourdough bread and a head of lettuce.
It sure does. This is from our novelty line. This is called the Hide Your Dough, and that's a lettuce hide. And what it is, it's got a little container, twist up in here, and you can hide your valuables right in here.
And then you
can
put it
away. Put that back in the fridge
or on the shelf,
on the shelf.
and thieves will think that it's just a piece of sourdough bread, but really it's got all your jewelry and money and
Got
everything
in
else.
there. So long as they're not hungry, they won't find this.
Well, I don't think we have any thieves watching our station, our program.
I hope not.
But the thing is, even if they are, this means it's going to slow them down, because when they break in a house, they'll have to go through every single item on the shelves and in the refrigerator just to check and see if there's a hide your dough piece of...
That's right, and they won't know it either. They'll pass this head of lettuce up anytime.
So this really works.
It works. It's been on this one here has been on the TV show called Miami Vice about 15 years ago. Showed it in the fridge.
Can you buy these things in stores?
You can. I don't know where they are, but they're out there. We sell enough of them, but they
Wow.
are out there.
This is amazing. A piece of sourdough bread, hide your dough. A big carrot. Now, what in the world would anybody be using a carrot this big for?
Well, places like Disneyland, stage playhouses will use these, like a Jack and the Beanstalk type. That's where we've made some of these oversized fruits.
So these are props as well for other things other than just restaurants.
Oh yeah, movie industries, production companies use our products all the time.
So could a private citizen come down here and say, I want a big carrot?
They
And
can.
do you just do wholesale stuff, or do you do retail stuff as well?
We don't do retail.
You're not set up for retail.
No, we don't do retail. We are suppliers. So we just do strictly list.
Wow.
So they'll come to us for that.
This is great.
Film industries are big.
Look at this. These shelves just go on and on and on. All of this full of... Now this looks like... Could I open this?
Sure. Open
This
where you
looks like it would be something that McDonald's or Denny's or somebody would have. This is like one of the little breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah, these are all generics. These are all magnets. You can see the magnet on the other side. Refrigerator magnets. So you can plop them up there.
Ha! Look at that.
It's another part of our line, what we call our gift line. You've got cheesecakes, pizzas, A little
So
bit
you
of
can
everything.
put a pizza or anything right up on the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Now those would be things you would buy in stores. So you all are really covering the market, aren't you?
We go with the demand. We've kind of added these lines here within the last couple of years.
The magnets.
Magnets. They're the large ones. We've had these smaller ones that you see here are miniatures. You see these are miniature items. There's a miniature hot dog.
Look at these.
See, that's just another part of our line. Keychains.
Keychains. Look at this, Louis. Corn keychains. Hello.
Hi, this is Hiroko.
Hi.
Nice
Neil
to meet
Hauser.
Nice
you.
to meet you.
She's packing. This
He's
fellow
packing
over
all
here.
this stuff.
Howdy.
That's Pablo.
Nice to meet you. How
Nice to
long
meet
have
you
you
too.
worked here?
I've been working for like 5 years. Here.
Yeah, this is when you tell people you work here, do they understand what you're talking about, your friends?
I have to tell them, that everything we're doing here is like when you go to a big market and you see all this stuff that they got it, we haven't here.
But it's not real.
It's not real.
Now, wait a minute. Here's a guy. Here's the first guy we met. He's actually eating something.
Is that real? Is that something?
What are you
eat?
eating?
That looks like it's real food.
The Korean and the butter coconut.
I want something real. Can I have one?
Neil eats everything everywhere he goes,
No.
so you gotta.
I just wanted to eat something that was real. Let's end up over here by the cakes, Louis. Thank you very much, Ron. This has been fascinating. We started off with the cake. Here it is right here.
And I'll bet you're still hungry, huh?
And
But
I'm
you've
ending
got
up with
something.
a little cookie right here.
Oh, I hope that was real.
But at least it's real.
Good.
We've had a great day, and I tell you what, the next time we walk in these restaurants, these chains, these individual stores, the chains, wherever they are, Denny's, McDonald's, Claim Jumper, all these other places, and we look at all this food in the display case, now we know where it came from and how it was made. A very interesting part of the folklore of Southern California, the business of Southern California, because you send these things all over the world.
All over the world, starting right here from Torrance.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been a great day, and with the exception of this one bite of the cookie, I haven't put a single calorie in my body.
We're glad to hear that.
A good day in Torrance. You're making food for restaurants literally all over the country, all over the world. How big of an industry is this?
Well, it's a fairly big industry. We're just a part of it here in the States, but worldwide it is a viable industry. So we do worldwide provide replica foods for all of America, and we also do international as well.
How much competition is there?
There's maybe 1.2 other companies that are out there, so really about
1.2.
maybe about 3 of us.
And you're all based
But
here
we're
in
the
Southern
first ones.
California?
Amazingly, yeah, we are.
And you were the first.
We are the first.
Visiting with Huell Hauser is made possible through a generous grant from the Ralph M. Parsons Foundation.